My name is John from San Endeavor, and welcome to the review of Blurryface by 21 Pilots. This album, 21 Pilots really changed their sound, as they always do from album to album. And we're going to be having a lot of changes from this review from last review that I did. Now, with this review, for any review that I do, me, John from San Endeavor, any review that I do will now have jump cuts. Now, what that means is now there's going to be cuts in the video, meaning that now I should be able to talk more about each song, and I should be able to get more in than I needed to, because before in the reviews I was kind of being oppressed by the fact that I was doing it all in one take, meaning that if I fucked up 9 minutes into the take, that I would have to restart. And another thing that happened is I was afraid to take risks during the take. I tried to lower my vocabulary just in case I mispronounced something or said something wrong that I didn't like, because if I did, then I would stop the recording and redo it completely, which is very stressful to do if you're doing a 9-minute take all in one go. Because now I'm not going to be addressing every single song, obviously. Now, for example, in this album, I'm not going to be addressing Polarize, what we see on TV, Fairly Local, and I think one more. Now, the reason I'm doing that, I still think that those are all great songs. But now, for example, I don't really like Polarize. Now, if I had to talk shit on that song, there's not, like, I want to get more in depth into the song. Now, it's hard for me to go back and listen to a song again and again and again that I don't really like. Now, the ratings for those songs, as well as all the other ones, will now be included in the description, below the Twitter and Instagram link, and below the copyright stuff that I now have to include, because I got copyrighted on 3 separate videos. The album starts off very strong with Heavydirtysoul, and I feel like Heavydirtysoul was a fantastic choice to open up this album. It's a very high energy song. It goes from rap to, it goes from a starting beat to rap, back to the beat, back to the rap one more time, and finishes off with the beat. Now, the lyrics on this album are mainly penned by Tyler Joseph, as well with this song. And this song is mainly about the fact that Tyler is feeling all these voices in his head, mainly from his alter ego Blurryface, which is a reoccurrence we will see on this album. Now, he wants to be saved from these voices, thus comes the line, "Can you save my heavy dirty soul?" Now, Heavy Dirty Soul is a very good song. The rap is very good. I even tried to learn the rap. I could not do it. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic song. We're going to be giving Heavydirtysoul a 9.5 out of 10. Next song on this album is Stressed Out. Stressed Out is a really good song. It is the most popular 21 Pilots song, and thus it has some very good competition. It beats all those songs out on views on YouTube, downloads, highest grossed amount. It is the best 21 Pilots song. Now, is it my personal favorite? No, it isn't. But do I see why people love it so much? Yes, I do. It comes in with a very heavy starting sounding beat, which then leads into a rap by Tyler, where he explains that he's so insecure, and then he talks about how he's Blurryface because of all these thoughts about growing up has created an alter ego for him, which is named Blurryface. Now, this song has a very good lyrical meaning, just like most of the songs on this album. And I'm going to be giving it a 9.5 out of 10. I almost gave it a 10, but I decided not to, just because I don't like the deep voice effect that they use on this, and I believe one other song. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was Fairly Local, but I don't talk about Fairly Local in this review. So, like I said, 9.5 out of 10. It is a very good overall song, and it definitely deserves all its recognition. Tear in My Heart is the next song we're going to be addressing. Now, Tear in My Heart is probably my personal favorite off the album. Now, this song is very successful, but it's not the most successful on this album. I wish it was, because it's my personal favorite, and I'd love to say that it's the best, but it's not the best. It's my favorite, it's not the best. Now, Tear in My Heart is really, really catchy, which is the main reason why I like this song. If you didn't know, this song is about Tyler's wife, and it's about how Tyler's wife tears holes in his heart, but he needs those holes to be torn. He needs to bleed to show that he's human, and when she tears holes in his heart, that shows that he's human. It shows that he has emotion, and his wife helps him emulate emotion. Now, I really like this song because of how they transition so well from starting off really fast-paced to kind of slowing it down a little bit, to getting into fast-paced back when he's in the cafe with his wife, and then slowing down at the end of the song. Now, this song is really, really catchy. If you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest checking it out. The next song is Lane Boy. Now, Lane Boy is really, really catchy, and the song is about how Tyler is always told to stay in one music genre. Stay in your lane, boy, is actually how it's supposed to be. There should be a comma in there. Now, it's because people always say, stay in one category. Choose your category of music. You're all rap and pop, and then you have these little signs of rock in there, and you have punk pop feeling sometimes. And Tyler's just like, we don't want to stay in our lane. We're going to do what we want to do. And we're going to do it however we want to do. And nobody's going to tell me different. Which is a very good mentality, which is a very good lyrical meaning. No, I'm sorry, I forgot the rating. I'm going to be giving Lameboy a 9 out of 10. I'm sorry, I forgot the rating. Those don't really matter to me. I just like talking about the song. But we're going to be giving Lameboy a 9 out of 10. And I think it's a fantastic song. It definitely deserves the 100+ million views. And a friend of mine told me that he didn't think that this song deserved its music video, along with Fairly Local. Now, maybe I could see where he's coming with Fairly Local. But Lameboy definitely deserves this music video. It definitely deserves the recognition that it gets over some of the other tracks in this album. The next song we're going to be addressing is Judge, or The Judge. Now, The Judge is a very good song. It's getting a 9.5 out of 10. It is a very solid track, and it has a good lyrical meaning at the same time with a very catchy chorus. I really enjoy the chorus for this song. And it kind of starts off slow and with a very cool starting beat, and then it speeds up with the chorus, and it does a fantastic job of doing that. Now, in this track, The Judge is referring to God, because if you didn't know, 21 Pilots is a Christian band, and a lot of their songs, they do talk about God, and they are referring to God. Judge is the God, and he's telling God to forgive him. He wants God to forgive him, because he has this bad side, which he refers to as Blurryface throughout the album, and he wants God to forgive him for having this bad side. And that's why I'm giving Judge a 9.5 out of 10, because it is a deep lyrical meaning, and at the same time, it is a very solid track with a very solid chorus. The next song we're going to be talking about is Message Man, which is one of my personal favorites off this album, and it's one of my personal favorites of all time. Message Man is a very complicated lyrical meaning. He says, take discretion when you come messing with the Message Man. Tyler is the Message Man. He is the one that portrays these messages through songs, and he always tries to make them have a really deep lyrical meaning. And he kind of, in a way, talks a little bit of crap to some of the people who do look up the lyrics or do try to understand them. You may understand these lyrics, but you don't really know what's going on inside them. You don't really know what's happening. He says take discretion because he feels like if some of the audience knew about these lyrics that he writes about and some of the more mainstream songs, then maybe they wouldn't like the songs as much. I feel like Message Man has a very good message throughout that. I said message way too many fucking times. But anyway, it has a very catchy melody, a very catchy harmony. The chorus for this song, just like Judge, is very, very good. I love it to death. And this is why it's landed its spot. It's one of my favorites of all time, and that's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Next up, we have the last song on Blurryface, which is Goner. Goner has a very good lyrical meaning. It's the only slow song on Blurryface, well, at least what I would consider to be a slower song, and you definitely need it. It does a magnificent job of closing out this album, and it has a very deep lyrical meaning. Like I said, the lyrical meaning being is that he's talking mainly to the audience. He's comparing himself to the audience here. Well, not really comparing, but he talks about how he doesn't want to be a goner. He needs help to fight the thoughts that are inside of his head, the thoughts that Blurryface creates, his alter ego. And he needs help, and he knows he has to face it, but he needs help to face it. And this might be a good message for the fans, meaning that if you need help facing your demons, ask for help, get help. There's people that can't help you. It ends the album on a very good, positive note of Tyler standing up to Blurryface, his alter ego, trying to comprehend these bad thoughts that Blurryface creates and trying to fight them. And that's why I'm giving Goner an 11 out of 10. Now, Blurryface is getting a 9.5 out of 10. It is the best rating I've ever given an album, and it probably will be the best rating I ever give an album for a very long time. Now, this album is a very solid, it's a masterpiece. It's a very solid masterpiece. Now, the reason it's a masterpiece, and I'm going to be running over a lot of the things I said when talking about Ride, but unlike most of these pop people that just write these songs that are catchy and don't have any good lyrical meaning, 21 Pilots always has a very good lyrical meaning. Props to Tyler Joseph for writing this. He always said he was feeling under pressure between Vessel and Blurryface. At least he said that in a couple of interviews. Now, you may have been feeling under pressure, but clearly you weren't good under pressure, Tyler, because this album is a masterpiece. Now, Blurryface is getting a 9.5 out of 10, like I said. The main reason is because of the lyrics. The lyrics on this album are very good. They have very deep lyrical meanings, like I said before in Ride, while keeping things very catchy and simple sounding. And now there's songs I didn't talk about, like Doubt and Fairly Local and Hometown, which I all find are some of my personal favorites of this album. I just didn't talk about them because I didn't feel like they needed to be talked about. Ratings and all that stuff will be in the description below for every single song, even the ones I didn't talk about. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe for more content. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you thought of the changes that I did. I've been John from Saint Endeavor, and I hope you enjoyed the Blurryface review.